this video I'll talk about um, this is kind of odd topic, but let's talk about it. My point is that this question is, what's wrong with third world country people? What's wrong with them? First of all, this question is kind of disturbing, so I have to deal with this some kind of technically. Or what's wrong with third world country people? Or we can just say it in another way. Why the people in third world country behaves like third world country people? This is also funny. Okay. Or we can say, why third world country is always third world country, or why they live in that same zone for a long time. Why not they become first world, etc., etc. But third world country people, why they are third world? Why? Or what's wrong with them? What's wrong with them? So my understanding about third world countries, what's wrong with them is, in the third world country there are many things which is negative for their growth. For example, many people are emotional here. Many people believes something that they shouldn't believe about their fortune, about their luck. They have some kind of wrong belief system, like instead of doing work, even if they don't do work, then food will come automatically, or similar kind of thing. And almost, this is not religion, by the way. Religion is kind of different, and you see in the first world country also there is religion. So religion is something different thing and different topic, and maybe someday if I feel good, then I will make another video about it. So that's a different thing. But third world country, in my point of view, there is less rational. Third world country people are less rational. Their rational senses are less. They do not think with logic. Most of the time they think with emotion, and then some mixture of logic, some mixture of emotion, some mixture of wrong factual information. Factual means correct, so they have wrong information. Some of these are correct information, then they blend everything. All of a sudden they come up with some decision which is completely flawful. So this is how they make a decision, and that is the reason why their life, their future, their luck never changes. Somehow. I mean, look, let me make it clear. Third world country people, it doesn't mean that everybody is like this. The characteristic that I'm saying, it's not like everybody is like this. Definitely there are many people who are not like this. So I'm just talking just in general. So in general means in part many people are like this. My point is, many people are like this. That's the point. And I'll say the prejudice, superstition, all are really predominant here. People are quite people love to believe something that is not existing. For example, people believe in ghost, and which is weird, funny, where there is no rationally, where there is no evidence of, even in the whole human history. I do not understand from where this comes. I mean, there are many literature, I will agree with this, that evidence of ghost, about the evidence of ghost, there are many literature about this, but there is no single scientific proof that there was some ghost somewhere. My point is that. So this is scientifically wrong, and they believe it. Many people believe it. Many educated people believe it. Oh, there is another interesting thing. Many educated people do not have confidence in their education in this third world country. What is that? Let me explain. Even they do not believe in some factual information also, if it goes against their thinking process. For example, the other day, this is just a silly example, this is a very funny example. So the other say, one was saying, okay, why do you consider the sun? Why do you consider sun as a star? Whereas it is not twinkling? How do you know that this is a star? Funny. This is very silly example. I will give you some better example. Better example is one graduate student one day, graduation, he is just in the final year of his graduation, one day asked me, like, he asked me this, do you think the radius of earth, the value that the scientists are saying is correct? And I said approximately correct. And he said, how do you think they measured it? How it is possible? How they measure it? This is not possible. And he is a science student, he is actually basically a student from physics. He was asking me this question. I was like, if you don't believe it, then most of your education is meaningless, because many calculations we have done just based on that, and the space science, all the things is based on that. So basically, if you believe it, if you believe this is wrong, then that calculation is also wrong. And if that calculation is wrong, and how come then space science is flourishing and everything is there? But I didn't argue with him, and I asked, I said, as far as I know, this is correct, more or less. I mean, this is not precisely, this is not 100% accurate, but there is some degree of precision there also. So that is correct. But my point is, many people here in the third world country, they do not believe what they are reading, what they are learning. If you ask some psychology student, if you ask them, if they agree with the psychology thing that they are reading, they will say they don't agree with it. They will say they don't agree with, I mean, even people always have this freedom to disagree, but they don't, they highly disagree with theory when they are completely amateur student. When you become a specialist, then you can disagree with some theory. But when you are some amateur, just a student, then if you start disagreeing with the directly theory, without the logic, without any rational, then basically that means you are missing everything. So I'm just talking about now students, from a student's perspective. So these people actually then later grows up, then they become the people of third world country, and that's why their life is messed up. You see the reason. Even the educated people's condition is this. So think about now those who get less education, then they get many wrong information. If I go to the tea stall, if you go to the tea stall, and anywhere you go, most of the people have the wrong information, which are factual not correct, which are blur, which are completely ridiculous. Even if you think in logic, then you can just eliminate all of this, most of this. But this is fun to live or think about or talk with these people, because they are very simple. But whatever, that is a waste of human intellect, I will say. I have to say it. My point here is, people's knowledge is completely wrong. In many cases, that's why they cannot make a good decision. That's why they cannot change their luck. Their life is completely messed up because of their thinking process, because of their psychological setup, and because of their laziness. They don't want to do hard work. If they do it, they just always talk about this. They always talk about the ill of others. They always talk about like what other people say. I mean, they always complain. They always do it. And they always think like other people, the first world country is all the happiness is in the first world country. This is also another kind of thinking from these people, which is not correct. So many things is actually I think all of these things is just wrong here, wrong in the third world country. And by the way, once again I repeat, this is kind of disturbing question, what's wrong with third world country people. I have to say, this is not the characteristics of all people in the third world country. This is just in general, many people are like this is what I mean. But I have seen many people who, even in some consideration, really great people, amazing people in the third world country also. Actually, I have to make another video about the what's good in the third world country. That in that video I will cover it. Anyway, thank you very much for watching it.